Okay, episode 2. Here we go.
Episode 2.
The first one went all right. The
I think
audio,
so.
I'm really not quite happy with the audio yet.
Yeah.
Sorry, Peanut Gallery. We are working on that. We're learning. This is the first of many podcasts that we're going to start.
It is. Oh, different podcasts we're going to start or episodes we'll record?
Both. Listen, I was thinking the other day, I was like, it'd be super cool if we had like a Pastor Jeremy, podcast.
That would be fun.
Where it would just be like a 5-10 minute, hey guys, this is my devotional thoughts for today or whatever, or like you do one a week or a couple of weeks. Maybe it's sporadic. I feel like it needs to be scheduled though. I feel like.
Sure.
But either way, I just was thinking, wow, that'd be super fun. I would do that, but I'd want to do it out and about, so I'm going to have to get some of those little baby mics. Mm-hmm. But that way we could also record some of these podcasts like out in the wild.
We could.
Which would be super cool. They also might sound terrible.
They probably would. Yeah.
But listen, we're business and ministry, so we don't know anything about audio, but we're learning. And I think
we're trying. It's a lot more complicated than I thought it would be.
Totally.
For sure.
It really is.
I thought that it would just be like plug in the mic and it's good to go, but apparently it's
no, because your house has air conditioning, it has 2 animals, and right now it has Seth, and
it does,
so he's in there, and I'm confident we're gonna hear like the
I don't think so. I turned it down.
Okay,
I think we're good.
I still think we're gonna hear him like yell.
The Peanut Gallery has zero idea what we're talking about right now, but that's all right.
That's
we'll
okay.
Leave him in the dark. That's okay.
That's right. We won't tell him that Seth's playing video games in the other.
That would be horrendous to do.
Yep. Because video games are sin.
Sharing too much information, to be honest. So.
How's your week?
Well, yeah, it's been interesting. It's been busy.
Good, interesting, bad, interesting.
Yeah, I think it's a good interesting.
Okay.
It's just work a lot.
Yeah.
So I think it was good work.
Do you find that you do like 50, 60 hours at your day job and then 15, 20 hours at ministry?
It's probably not quite 50 at the day job.
Okay.
I did work a 12-hour day this week, but that's not normal for me. It's probably right around 40-ish somewhere, and then 20 hours between school and ministry work outside of being at church. Yeah. So when you add that in, I'm maybe pulling 70 a week. I don't know.
Yeah.
A lot. So I don't know. Are you kind of in that range right now, or?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I'm 25 hours at my day job. I don't know, 20 hours at my school. And then, I don't know. I don't think I put 10 hours into ministry. I'm not being paid right now.
Sure.
But I still really try and put a lot of work into that. I'm not necessarily in charge of junior church, but I do I don't know. I have a lot of it. Yeah. So I'm teaching tomorrow, and I'm really excited about that.
Okay.
Starting the series on 2 Samuel. So.
Cool.
Yeah, yay for that. It's going to be fun.
Good.
But I was just thinking about it because I was working on my LinkedIn and trying to get my resume on there. I put my doctrinal statements on there.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. I managed to put them into a OneDrive folder, and then I put a link of that OneDrive folder into my LinkedIn. And
you're talking like the papers you've written on doctrine. Okay.
That's right. And so that way, if someone, technically my resume, it says ministry, but my experience is mostly business.
Yeah.
And my classes and my degrees. But I really do want to work ministry. And so I was like, you know what? I should put my doctrinal statements on here just so that, if someone is really curious and interested, they could look.
Sure. That's a good idea.
I've got them on there, and I explained, I was like, hey, these are a work in progress. Okay. Not only because I wrote them in college, and I feel like I did a good job.
Yeah.
Still, like my doctrine, as I'm learning more about Jesus, as I'm growing, it also is growing. Mm-hmm. And so now I just have to keep up with it and, discipline myself to go back and keep them updated. So
sure.
I think right now, I don't have a lot of time, but probably during the summer, I'm going to go back and look through every single one and probably rewrite a lot of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I've just been thinking about ministry and what I'm going to be doing. Like, man, how many hours is going to be what? Ugh.
Well, it'll probably be a lot. I think ministry is usually described as more of a way of life than a job.
Agreed.
You know,
yeah.
So it kind of encompasses everything you do in some way.
Yeah, definitely.
Obviously, you got to carve out some for you and your family, but
sure,
a lot of your life is ministry. So
yeah.
Well, let's jump into the question, shall we?
Yeah, this is your first question.
It's my time.
It better be good.
I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. I think it's interesting.
I'll tell you what I think about it. Ask it.
I'll bring it into. I'm curious to see how the conversation goes with it.
Okay.
Like the mood goes with it versus what we talked about last week with the movies, or 2 weeks ago, I should say.
Yeah.
With the movies. So, okay, here's the question.
Yep.
And it's not even a straightforward, super concise one. Okay.
Right.
I think I'm going to go with I want to lean into the idea of quests and inquests.
Okay.
And I started thinking about we have an idea of what a quest is, right?
Yeah.
But I literally looked up the definition, and it says it's a long or arduous search for something.
Okay.
Okay. So now I want to know, what are some of the biggest, with that definition, what are some of the quests you have taken on, and maybe some of the quests that you want to do?
Okay.
And they don't always have to be like important things, like
no.
A long or arduous task or search for something can be for something stupid, or fun or whatever.
Yeah. So are you talking like small, like I have a quest to learn the guitar?
Literally anything. I just want to know, like, kind of what comes to your mind when it comes to quests in your life.
Yeah.
Either past or present or moving forward.
Okay. So let's start with this year. I hate New Year's resolutions. But so 2 weeks before the new year, I made a resolution.
Good. To not make a resolution?
No. To improve on something this year.
Okay.
Couple things. The first one would be my prayer life.
Sure.
My prayer life has not been the strongest thing in what I do. However, it needs to be. All right. Like, that's talking to God, that I should be doing that. If I have the opportunity to do so, why wouldn't I? I struggle big time with anxiety and with just fear in general. It's in 2 Timothy 1:7 where it says God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and a sound mind. That's my life verse, because the spirit of fear is something that constantly comes at me. Because I'm sitting here like, wow, what am I going to do after school? What am I going to do with my family? Which is another quest. I want to start a family. Yeah. And I want to raise kids. I want to raise boys. And I say that God's going to give me all girls. And probably, the Lord is going to teach me, and it's going to be awesome. But, this is a quest that I have. But I can't start that quest yet. And I worry sometimes. And I think, God, what am I, what else do I need to do? Am I deficient in this area, that area? Why am I still in this season? Because I must be here for a reason. Yeah. Ecclesiastes 3, there's a time for this and a time for that. Well, I'm clearly in a time for this, so what is this? And I worry about that. I just sit here constantly, and I can get in my own head and think and have a conversation with myself, But when you pray, it's you coming before God, and it's you handing things to Him. And it talks in, I think it's Philippians, where it's talking about, let your requests be made known unto God with thanksgiving, and the peace of God, which passes all understanding, will protect your heart and your mind through Christ Jesus our Lord. How am I going to get peace? How am I going to overcome fear? How am I not going to dwell on that? Well, I'm going to be thankful, and I'm going to hand God my problems. Not because he doesn't know about them, because he already knows about them. It's when I pray, it is so much me opening my hands and just saying, God, please take this from me.
Yeah.
And, I think that, well, let's look at this. I'm a month in, almost exactly. And I miss days. I don't always do it. I have my little field notes notebook that I pray in, that I have requests in, and it's awesome. It has required me to have some structure, because while I wish that I could just pray, I can't do it on command. I actually have to have a system right now. And it's gotten easier, though, to do it impromptu and to say, okay, God, I need help with this as I'm driving along, doing work or whatever. So that's the quest for this year, is prayer. And another quest for this year is I want to work on the poet side. It kind of goes a lot along with the prayer thing, but I'm naturally a warrior. I naturally want to fight. I naturally will attack somebody mentally, physically. I like guns. All of this is what I love. And I'm naturally, I think I'm naturally gifted to be a fighter. Mm-hmm. And to protect the things around me. And so it's easy for me. It's easy for me to sit down and discipline myself to practice my draw stroke on my gun, to box, to go to the gym. It's easy for me. But what's not easy for me is to sit down and be kind to people, and to sit down and listen to somebody as they pour their heart out. And me just listen and not solve the problem. Because I naturally, all of a sudden, you give me any problem, and I will come up with 3 or 4 solutions right off the bat. And we'll analyze it, and maybe they're not the best solutions, but you know what? We can get this done. We can kill this dragon. But it's really hard for me when somebody comes to me and they're like, man, I'm struggling in my walk with God. For me to, instead of counsel, instead of, and I hate the way this sounds, instead of me opening my Bible and saying, you need to meditate on this verse, to just say, man, bro, I'm so sorry. Let me hug you. Let me pray for you. Let's just sit here and let's weep. I'm not good at that. I struggle to do that. And God has made me to be a problem solver. God has made me to be a warrior, and I'm grateful for that. But that doesn't mean that I can ignore the side of me that would nurture a family. And I think about that. I think about that when I think about, let's go back to I'm in this season right now. I think, maybe God wants me to learn to be gentle before I have a family. And clearly he does, clearly. But, I whenever I ask God, why don't I, why am I not in a solid relationship? Why have I not been able to figure this out? I think that I am gentle, God. I think I've figured this out. But he reminds me, hey man, I love you. Wait, I know when you'll be ready. So until then, until I say, you need to keep working on stuff. You need to keep improving. You need to be a blessing to the people that you do have. Okay? It's one of those things where it's like, you think you can take care of a wife? Are you taking care of your sister? Are you taking care of your mom? Because those are the women that you have right now. Are you taking care of them? No, not as well as I should. Not as well as I should. And so, I've improved that area over the last couple years, big time. I've worked on my relationship with my sister and with my mom, but I'm not where I want to be yet. And so this year we're working on the poet side. We're working on and it's like, well, does that mean you're literally writing poetry? Sometimes, it helps me process my emotions. I write in my journal to process my emotions and to just learn to use the emotional side more. I had an uncle and they were like, yeah, he's in touch with his feminine side. It's like, he's in touch with his emotional side. Mm-hmm. That's not a feminine thing. That's manly. All right. Manliest man in all of history, I would put as David. Because David was a butt kicker. He killed giants. He did amazing things. He was the man after God's own heart. And he wrote poetry. Cried out to God and said, God, I want you. And in his darkest moments, he didn't sit there and kill. In his darkest moments, he sat down and he prayed and he cried. And I know that David's not perfect. And that's some of the beauty of his story, and some of the encouragement for me is Psalm 51, where he says, God, against thee only have I sinned. Despite the fact that he murdered somebody and stole his wife. Against thee only have I sinned, God. David was emotional, and David was a man. Those aren't contradictory. So my quest this year, especially, back to the original question, is that I want to be able to be a poet, to be emotional, and to not just solve every problem that's thrown at me. Like, I'd like to be able to. I want to solve problems, and if someone looks at me and says, now what should I do? All right, I'll help. But so often, I sit with my brothers and they tell me their issues. They don't need me to counsel. They just need me to sit there and cry with them. So, I want to learn to cry. That's my quest. I want to learn to cry. So.
That was deep.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I guess that's kind of what you can expect a little bit. I mean, we went from Kung Fu Panda last time to the emotional side of being a man. That went pretty quickly. But that was good. That's
my quest, and I could say, another quest I have, I want to learn to play the guitar. Mm-hmm. I'm working on that. I've gotten all right at it. I really think that life is just a bunch of quests. Like, you could describe life as a video game. You have mainline quests. You've got side quests. My side quest is the guitar thing. I think more of the mainline quest is the emotional thing and growing into the man that God wants us to be. But yeah. So you can comment on that, but I do want to know what your quests are, man.
No, that's good. I think that kind of does go into what I was thinking about, especially when you're saying life is a bunch of quests. And I think you and I, that's kind of where we came to the name idea and mm-hmm. concept idea for this whole project, right? Yep. Was that kind of drive. Those are better than I was thinking. Like, maybe I shouldn't even say better, just more introspective and meaningful, maybe. Mm-hmm. One of mine is learning time management. I'm just like, I used to think I was an okay time manager. I don't think that's actually true. I think I just was able to work pretty quickly on some things, and that meant that I had ample time in my life. A lot of room for error, I guess. I didn't have to be as disciplined because in the work I was doing, I was pretty good at it, and so I could just do it pretty quickly and have a lot of time to myself, essentially. And but now I've reached a point in my life. I think I've bitten off right about the maximum, if not a little bit too much, than I should be chewing. So for me, it's just learning to be more disciplined in my time, using it as a resource. But it's hard. I think I've got days where, like, I'm all over it. I'm like, I'm up at the time I want to be up, and I got the morning routine I want to have, and I get to work when I want to get there, and I knock the things out that I have in mind, and then I get home and I just crush it and I get all the work done. Yeah. And I feel good on those. And then the next morning I just be a total crumble. I just fall, the whole thing is awful. And the whole Jenga tower comes falling down, and I accomplish almost nothing in that day. So it's kind of one of the quests I'm thinking about, have been thinking about really for the last 2 months. Have just been like, how do I structure my day in such a way that I can use each day essentially as an altar and say, what I'm putting on here is my best as an offering to God, but not every day is that.
No. Yeah.
Some days I put wood, hay, and stubble right there. Right?
Yeah.
I'm not always putting gold and precious stones. So that's kind of what I've been thinking about a little bit on the more introspective side. That's like one of the more meaningful things that I'm working on.
That's good.
But then the other one I've written down in one of my goals for this year. I mean, I always have a book reading goal.
Sure, yeah.
That I almost never hit, but I've always got one, right, that I'm working towards. That's I'm actually on pace for this year.
Good job.
Finished, let's see, we are January 31st, so all the way done with January. And I think I've finished, I want to say 3.5 books. So they're okay. I'm moving.
Yeah.
It's, most of the reading I do right now is for school, but it's reading nonetheless, so.
Yeah, we'll take it.
There's that, but that's not anything new. That's something I think I'll do probably every year of my life type of thing.
Yeah.
And then another one I wrote down was literally just learning how to bake new things. I'm enjoying baking and making
You are
things.
good at that, I will say.
And I don't know. I find enjoyment out of that, and it's kind of it's kind of an outlet a little bit.
Yeah.
I can, put some time into that. I've not been good about that so far in January. Last year, I learned how to bake several things. I've not yet done it, but it's one of the things I want to do this year. And that's not a very serious thing, but it's just something on the side,
It's an outlet.
Yeah, an outlet of sorts. So
it's good. You got to have those. I think especially with your time management one that you're questing after, you got to have moments of rest. People don't Sabbath. And I use
rest
Sabbath
is a big resource.
Yeah.
I think people just see it as a mandatory evil in their day.
No.
Maybe. I mean, maybe. Obviously, you can rest too much, and some people love it too much.
Yeah, I was going to say, or that's the goal, is to get to the rest.
Is to just get there. But I think you've got to use it almost as your, I don't know, there's all kinds of metaphors you could use for it, right? But it's definitely a big deal.
Yeah,
so.
I think it's like it's a car. You're taking a road trip. You have to stop at the gas station.
Yeah, for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you don't stop, even if you don't take your lunch break,
right?
It's just, dude, we weren't built for that.
Now you can do that some days.
Yeah.
And some days require it, but most days you need to slow down and take the time to just pause for a minute, right?
Yeah.
So what I think is interesting about most of the goals quests that we've listed are really good, but they are indefinite.
Yep.
Right? So your prayer quest is a very indefinite. There's no point in this year where you're going to say, I have achieved prayer.
And there's no, not even in life.
Right, but that's my point, is that it's a very indefinite goal. And I don't know, you hear the whole, there's all kinds of acronyms for what makes a good goal or what we're calling a quest. But in a lot of them will say it needs to be defined, right?
Yeah.
It needs to be defined, measurable, and achievable.
Yeah.
But that's one that I think we would both say is a good goal that's not necessarily achievable. And I think that's just the nature of it, right?
Yeah.
A lot of things. Prayers, that's the one I keep using. But that, your gentleness quest or time management. Time management, maybe. It's more achievable, definable.
But even then.
Now, I wanted to learn 5 new things to make this year. So that's very achievable.
That's very achievable.
I guess, does that diminish at all your drive toward a certain quest if it's not achievable in that sense?
So, okay, let's take a look at my gym journey, which is so slow. So
it is so existent, though, not mine, though.
Yeah, but see, you could throw me, is the thing. I technically have put on some weight, but I've been about 140 pounds for forever. And I can't seem to get by it. And so some people, they say, like, if you have a goal to get to 155, that's good. My goals and I think it's different for everybody, but my goals have tended to not be as clearly defined. I tend to say I want to be consistent in the gym long term. So I want to be in there, 45 minutes a day, or I just want to get in there during the weekdays.
And I think I'm going to interrupt for a moment.
Yep.
Because you're taking it where I was going with this a little bit, is that I think we live in a pretty goal-driven society.
Right.
That wants data, that wants results,
right.
measurement, right? And that's good.
Great, yeah.
It's good.
There can be moments where that's good.
But I think I'm starting to think of quests and goals a lot in my life as more of a way of life.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Than I'm going to do this. But I think it depends, right? I mean, I'm training right now towards a half marathon. That's a very number driven. This is a measurement goal, right? But a lot of what I'm doing, I guess both of us, I mean, I'm saying I want to become a person who manages his time well.
Yeah.
You're saying you want to be a man who is gentle.
Yes.
And obviously I want that as well, but it's you're making that a defined goal for your life right now. But I think the way we are framing it is more of this is the type of person I want to become, rather than I want to check this box.
Yeah, I want to have this many poems written this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's the beauty of something like Habits.
Yeah.
You read Atomic Habits, great book, and it talks more about lifestyle than it does like specific things.
Yeah.
The temptation with a goal-driven thing is that once your half marathon is done, you'll stop. You're done. You're like, oh, I did my half marathon. Okay, I can rest now. And you'll rest for a week, but then you won't get back into it. And if you don't become the type of person that runs, if you don't become a runner, then you're just somebody that has run. It's a lifestyle change. And so, I want my lifestyle, it might not be 45 minutes of weights every day. And I like the lack of pressure also. If I were sitting here like, Jeremy, you have to weigh 155 pounds by the end of the year, which by the way, I'd like to. It's not a defined goal that I have, but it's something that I keep in mind. Like, if I actually put the effort in to eat and to be in the gym, I could do this.
And I think there's maybe a blend to it. I think I will not reach that half marathon goal if I'm not a person who runs.
Right. That's
not with everything, no. I think, right? Some goals you can accomplish without becoming a person who does this, right?
Yes.
Maybe for some people that's easier to get to a half marathon. It wouldn't require becoming a runner.
Right.
For me, it would. There's just no shot, right?
Yeah.
But it would require that. But like my brother can just decide on a random Saturday morning after not having done anything in the past 5 years that he's just going to go run a half marathon. And it's fine.
That's not fair.
It's not fair. And really, it does make me angry at the world a little bit. But that's just kind of the nature. I think it's subjective a little bit, person to person.
Yeah, I agree.
But what's interesting about this, so right now I'm studying Koine Greek, right? Biblical Greek in my pastoral studies.
Good for you. Love that for you.
And I hate it. I'm going to be real. Well, I'm just right now I'm learning about uses of participles in the Greek, right? Mm-hmm. And they're talking about one of the uses is using it as a noun. So usually we think of participles as being maybe adverbs or verbs, and I'm no I'm no grammar person, right? That's not my strength, language, and all that.
I know that.
Thank you. But something I learned the other day was one of the ways it's used is to describe someone with a verb. Mm-hmm. So if you put the article in front of this participle, mm-hmm. it means the one who blank. So if you put the verb run mm-hmm. with the one who, and then that right word ending, it'll say the one who runs, right, in English. And I've been thinking about that a little bit as far as like, if you were to describe my life with only, noun participles, what would you get? Would you get like the one who, I don't know. I mean, like, what would my life's summation be in those?
Give me a moment. I'll come up with it.
Okay.
I could be mean here. I could be mean. The one who eats.
Thank you. Thank you. That's so kind.
I disagree with that. I mean, even today, as I'm coming over, you were like, you're probably going to want to get something because I'm going to eat healthy. I was like, dadgummit. How could you do this to me? And then I sat in a Wawa for 30 minutes because I didn't realize that the order was at the counter. Anyway, being dumb has its adventurous moments.
It does create little quests on the way.
It does. But no, honestly, I would say I think you're the one who works. Constantly.
Yikes.
Constantly. I see, Aaron, you working. And I think that's it's such an admirable quality. That I see you put the work into your sermons for these kids. And you put like so much time into these lessons that, frankly, the amount of study that you do, I'm sure that you don't bring half of it to the kids because they don't understand. They're teenagers. How could they? But you sit here and you mine out the word. I see you working for your day job, crunching spreadsheets, working with Tesla. Like, that's crazy. The amount of work that you do for that. I didn't intend to ask you that question at the beginning because of this, but the fact that you're putting so much time, 70 hours a week, into becoming, your schooling, you're pouring into you. Your ministry, you're pouring into these kids. You're pouring into the people God has given you to shepherd kind of right now. And then your work, you're pouring into your family. You're pouring into your wife and you so that you can have food and live on the table. I was going to say live on the table, but that's not right. You have a nice apartment. And I know that Artica works as well, but like, you guys are kicking butt. You're both in school. And I'm telling you, man, when I sit back and I think of somebody that works hard, I think of you. I think of you. I mean, I didn't say that you're perfect. Okay. I didn't.
That's good.
We walked in today and you're not always working. Otherwise, I would say it's a criticism, workaholic. I don't know. I came in today. You're playing video games. On your Saturdays, we sometimes will sit here and record a podcast. Sometimes we sit back and watch a movie. We watch UFC. We rest. Mm-hmm. I don't think you're a workaholic. But I think you work. And clearly it's your goal too, because you're working on your time management. So, that's
interesting. Because that is not what I think I would tell myself. I don't think of myself as a worker. I think because it takes so much fight to force myself to do things, it's not easy to get and a lot of days I don't, but I appreciate that. I really do. It does mean a lot to me. I think because it is something I'm always fighting a bit is that drag to not work.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's, I think, what's admirable about it is that's what you fight to do. So. Yeah.
I would say that I think of you, if I had to put it in one.
Oh, no.
I didn't know. There's a lot of things I could put there. But over the last couple of years, I think I've come to think of you as a person who thinks.
Wow.
And thinks a lot. Not always correctly.
No.
But you're always thinking. I think part of that, I think you can see when it comes to just this approach, even in this episode, where I had in mind far less serious things for goals and quests we were pursuing. But you came out the gate with the fact that you want to be a better man. I was like, well, shoot. Okay. Well, here we go. I think we were talking last year, and this has stuck with me a bit, and it's, I think this is the word you used, but you said that like your life was at the time consumed with a drive to be an honorable man. And I was like, in that moment, I'm like, because I think we were at the pool in my apartment, and I was like, why are you thinking about that right now? like, can't you just enjoy the pool?
No.
You know? But that was kind of a thought I had, was like, things aren't too small to think about. I think things in life, no matter how small they are, get you to think. Whereas a lot of people would just brush past them without a thought. I don't think you're an overly introspective person. You can go too far down that road. Yeah. Right. But definitely, I think you do think a lot, and I respect that a lot. You find meaning in things that I don't, that I probably should. I don't know. That's the way I think of it. So we are people who work and think. Yeah, I guess. Well,
that's good.
That's good. I think that's better than it could be.
Yeah, we could have been honest and said that we're lazy bones.
Do you have any quests that stick out in your life, in your past, that say that's something I'm proud of that I worked on? It's a hard question. Yeah, I was thinking about this morning. I don't think I've got anything that jumps super to mind. Like,
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could say something like my degree. You know, I mean, this has been a quest that I got my undergrad. Yeah. Good. You know, that was a lot of work. And then I decided to get another degree, and I'm going to get that in May. That's been a quest. I don't think that was a time staller. I know parts of it were.
But it was an overall value add to your life. Yeah.
And so I didn't think of it that way. I just kind of thought, well, this is the next right thing to do, so I'm going to go do it. Sure. I mean, honestly, that was my logic, because I didn't want to. I didn't want to do any of it. School is dumb, but like, I knew it was right, so I wanted to do that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know of other things that I really accomplished. Kind of sitting around at the moment, looking around, thinking, "Wow, I need to do something with my life."
Maybe I wouldn't see it that way. I think you and I right now, just because of the nature of the stage of life we're in, are in a more preparatory, definitely, stage, right? Yeah. Whereas we may not have as many accolades to throw on the wall, right? True. Yeah. But I don't know. They don't even have to be big things. Just saying, you've crafted weapons, which I think is cool.
Okay, yeah, that was actually a long quest. Was my rifle. Well, there you go. Started stocking up parts.
And that's what I knew you worked on for a long time.
Yeah, I did. I worked on that for a bit, trying to get everything right. Finally, put it all together. Took it to a range and it shot, and I'm telling you, man, wow, the pride that I felt that thing didn't blow up in my face, it was crazy. Yeah.
I think of it some. I look back at like my high school, so let's say 9th to 12th grade, right? If I look at my life from that time, where I could have been pursuing so many things, I just burned my life.
Oh yeah,
I spent it all. If you look at my like hour logs on video games and things.
Oh yeah, dude.
I think of like if I put all that towards literally any one thing. Yep. I would be so good at that. Or even
just something. Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't matter what it was. I could be making off of any. I could be making money from something I had pursued during that time, like a skill or something. Yeah. But it's all useless. You know?
No, I'm really good at Star Wars Battlefront.
All hot trash, worth nothing. And I think of that, and I wish I had pursued something. Agreed. Instead of just pursuing dopamine every day of my life type of thing,
I feel like I should save the question of how we're going to do it differently for our kids. I feel like there's a different podcast for that.
Maybe, I don't know that, like...
Because my parents, they let me play video games. Clearly they tried to limit it, but much of it they just let happen, and that's not a knock against them. It just is, I do look back and I think, wow, that was wasted time. What if my parents had forced me to play piano?
I think you would have hated them.
I think I would have too.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know.
I look back at my high school a lot with regret in how I treated my relationship. I think with my dad mostly.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because he was always trying to get me to come work with him, show me how to do things, be productive, be someone I could, look back and respect. But oh my word, I regret it so much, but every time I would just be the worst.
Yep.
He'd be like, hey, come help me with this thing outside I'm working on.
Yep.
And I'd be like, I'd give him an attitude, drag my feet and just sit there being, if I could go back and slap myself, I would.
100%.
100%.
Yeah,
because I basically spit in his face with how he was trying to develop me. But I don't know. I think we could be idealistic and say, I'm going to do this with my children.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the moment, it's like, if I force him to do something, he's going to hate my guts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So true. I don't know. I don't know
either.
And we're 23-year-old idiots, so we don't know.
No, we're 23, but we have it figured out. I'm telling you what.
Okay.
We could write a book on parenting.
Oh, yeah, with no prior experience?
Yeah.
I'm sure
100%.
It'd be a bestseller.
It would be. And it would be a comedy. You know, parents would buy it to laugh at it.
I think we almost should. And then when we have 20-year-olds, read it again.
Oh.
It'd be kind of funny.
That would be good. Yeah, we could give ourselves parenting advice for the future.
Dude.
We should record a podcast. Let's do that.
I don't want to. That sounds shameful.
You know what?
That sounds embarrassing.
You know what?
Plus, my father listens to this, so no shot.
Yeah, maybe we'll write a book then. They're going to want to read that too. So, I don't know.
No. That would just be more experimental, I think.
All right.
I'm not doing that. There's no way.
All right. If I can think of a good parenting question, I'll ask it on this, but I probably won't.
But where's the value add there? Neither one of us have any experience with that. Unless we brought one of our dads on here. That'd be kind of fun.
Oh, that would be cool.
Your dad on this thing would be legendary.
It would be. I don't know that he would condone it, though.
Maybe not. I don't know. Apparently, I'm such an awful influence. He doesn't want to be around me. So
no, it's not that. He just doesn't want me to be around you.
Oh, okay.
That's not true. No, he speaks very highly of you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He does. He genuinely does.
Good.
But yeah, I mean, I don't think it was just you, just college in general that corrupted me. You just happened to be there.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. I think this was fun. This was a good. It was a little question. More heavy. It wasn't as comedic, I think, as a movie list might be.
Yeah. No, this was a good question. Good choice, buddy.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, well done. I'll have to do better. Is this going to be one of those things where we try and one-up each other every week?
Think we're going to be doing this for too long. Can't you can't be one-up each other every time.
The final episode could be like, well, what's the meaning of life?
Wow, you're already planning out a final episode.
We're going to die eventually.
No.
What do you think? They're going to let us record up in heaven?
No, what I'm saying is like we'll just hand it down. I'm sure someone will want to take up the mantle, the mantle of this prestigious.
Maybe if we do this for long enough, we can give it to our sons.
They would look at us like idiots. Like, I don't want that.
True.
No part of me wants that.
True. But hey, they'd be right.
They would be right, and I would condone that decision.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
all right.
This was fun. We'll do it again soon.
Yep. Agreed. Outro music thingy. Do the roar.